fair warning, I'm going to get on my Corona-19 soapbox again, but I've just got to tell you, I am getting so sick and tired of this bullshit, especially in the state of Minnesota, and I know I don't stand alone. Hey, look, I'll be the first to tell you that when the Corona-19 virus came out, I was as scared as everybody else were. Why? Because there was the uncertainty. We didn't know what we didn't know. And when media got a hold of this, they ran and I don't know if it's their job to try to scare the hell out of us and some people thinking that it's actually the end of time, it's Armageddon. Look, now sitting here, if everybody just takes a step back, takes a deep breath and looks at the analytics don't lie. So take everyone's subjective opinion, push it aside, and literally that's what we need to do. We need to take everybody's opinion and tell everybody, hey, if you don't mind, go sit in the corner over there and keep your fucking mouth shut for a minute, and let's just look at the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. Today, less than 1% of the population that get Corona-19 die. Now look, any of us who have friends and family members who have died from this disease, I am sorry. I'm sorry. And you know, I wish that it had never happened, but the reality of it is it's not a death sentence. And the other reality of it is that in many cases they had some pre-existing conditions. And the reality also is we know that this affects our elderly population. We understand that. The elderly population is at risk here. And you know what? There's other people at risk that are not elderly, just like the elderly is at risk for getting the flu. Look, there's a certain segment of our population that is at risk anyway. They have pre-existing health conditions. And you know what? There's those outlying situations. Every medical study that's ever been performed since the beginning of time, they'll tell you there are going to be those outliers, those one-off situations that don't make any sense. That 20-year-old person who dies, they were not in the profile of at risk, and they caught the disease and they died. Don't make the exception become the rule. And that's what we've done here. We get this story of this 20-year-old who died and they had a couple of kids, and you know, now that, look, it's bad gone bad, and I understand it, but you can't make that scenario. You can't get the society to believe that, oh my gosh, I can't let my kids out the front door, or oh my gosh, I can't go grocery shopping anymore. I literally got to a stoplight the other day. I looked to my left. I swear to God, I looked to my left, and here's a woman in her car. She's got a mask on. She's got rubber gloves on. She's the only person in the car. And I am thinking, what in the hell is going on in our society? I mean, these people are absolutely scared stiff. I saw a study the other day. Do you know that wearing a mask over your face the entire day is actually not healthy for you? Look, here nor there, and not wearing a mask, the dirty looks that you get, you want to tell people, hey, look, I've actually got a better chance of dying in a car accident than I do dying from Corona-19. But here's the reality, and it hit me right in the forehead last night. So last night I had some friends over to the house here, and we're talking about Corona-19. And here's the scary part. There are some people that fall into a segment where they're staying at home by government order, and they are actually making more money at home than they were going to work, okay? There's another section that they're staying at home, they're making slightly less, okay? And then there's people like myself, as an example, who don't qualify. So those are the three segments. But whether you're in segment 1 or segment 2, here's what they love about it. They're staying at home, they're making more money, or they're making slightly less, but they love it. They're getting all their little house projects done. They're gardening, they're painting the house. They're getting all their honey-do list things done. And look, you can't fault them, because government just says, stay home. Stay home, don't come to work, or work from home. Look, you know, most of these people, everyone that I was speaking to last night, they're less productive at home, but going to work is not an option for them. So we've got to get these people, when this ends, the challenge is getting these people to go back to work. Because some of the people are raising their hand, they're saying, oh, I don't know if this is a safe environment. You can see that bullshit train is right around the bend. That's coming. You're gonna get a handful of people. When I say a handful of people, a very large cross-section of people that are gonna say, I don't know if I wanna come to work because I don't know if it's a healthy environment for me. I'm afraid of getting Corona-19. Look, people, You got less than a 1% chance of dying from Corona-19. At some point in time, you got to go to work. And you know what? If you want to go to work with surgeon gloves on, if you want to go to work with a mask on, by all means do it. But don't think that this is suddenly a choice that you get to make. Here's your choice. You can quit or you can go to work and be productive. But at some point in time, we've got to get back to work. And for God's sake, our Governor Walz, take a step back, pull your head out of your ass, and open up the gyms, open up our economy again so people can get back to living. And you know what? For all of you at home that are sitting under your desk right now, look, frankly, I don't give a shit if you don't ever want to leave your house, okay? If you think you're at risk, stay home. Have a personal shopper for you. Wear a mask every day for the rest of your life. Wear gloves. Bathe in hand sanitizer if that's what flips your switch. I don't care. But you know what? The rest of us can't be held hostage, because if we don't get this bus moving, if we don't get our economy moving back, and us as productive people in our society, if we don't get in the game, open up our wallets and support these businesses, I'm telling you, if you want to make a stock investment, find out who makes Prozac, because there's going to be more personal depression going on right now and anxiety. And then you can imagine. You think Corona-19 is going to be a problem? You wait till this society wakes up one day and they're freaking broke. They can't find a job because no one's hiring. Nobody's hiring because the demand at work is not there. Restaurants aren't hiring. Why? Because the freaking governor put in his little social distancing. So now these restaurants are supposed to find a way to cash flow at 30, 40% occupancy. I got a news flash for you, all you governors out there with your head in your ass. Have you ever tried to run a business at 40% occupancy? Is there any business on the planet that can operate at 40% occupancy from where it originally was? Absolutely not. What is going to fire up an entrepreneur to go and work their ass off and risk the farm on making 40%? And why? Because the government has got their shackles on you, controlling how many people you can put in your restaurant. Why? Because you've got people led to believe that if they get Corona-19, that it's a freaking death sentence, which is complete bullshit. It's not true. The analytics don't lie. Now, once again, I'm not being insensitive. If you're in that profile of the elderly and you're at risk, look, you've got a pre-existing respiratory issue, you're at risk. I get it. I don't care how old you are. It's your right, it's your civil right to stay home if that's what you want to do. But for God's sake, don't you dare point a finger at me and a majority of the population out there that says, hey, look, I understand the risk. I'm a big boy. I make decisions every day, and this is one risk I'm ready to take, okay? I, for one, I'm not willing to let the government, my local governor, control what the hell it is that I want to do or how I want to live my life. If I want to go to church, by God, let me go to church. That's my right. That's my risk that I'm willing to take. Just like the risk I take every day I get in my car and drive. I risk that I could get blindsided, T-boned, and have a critical accident. So there you go, everybody. That's my rant. I'm sorry you had to listen to it, but once again, I'm completely fed up with the bullshit. And I think that as a country, we got to stand up and say, enough. The analytics, the numbers, they don't lie. We need to go back to work. We're adults. We understand the risk, but there's a bigger risk of keeping us at home. You keep us at home, we're going to die a death of 1,000 paper cuts. And I, for one, I'm not willing to do that. So you know what? Kiss my ass. I'm going to work. There. I'm done now. I promise I'm done now.